we get to see each other a couple of times a year, I guess, over the last few years. But we love getting together with you guys because the stories that we hear as well and the dynamic that you have. We love family. We spend a lot of time with our family, but you literally live together, Granny and you, and the age difference is what? You're 27, right?
I'm 27.
Granny?
93.
93.
Anybody good at math here?
That's
So
a
that's
lot.
like 15 years apart?
Yeah, something like
So
that.
30, 90, carry the 60. Yeah, it's somewhere in there. 66 years apart.
Divided by X.
Now, how does that affect your dating life, Granny?
Not bad.
How old she is or how far we are apart?
No, having you as a roommate. When she's on a date.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's obviously getting older. Well, are you dating younger men?
I'm getting older.
With the men too?
Oh, yes.
Okay, all right, I didn't know that. She sneaks them up.
So how does that, how your lives are really busy though too with your traveling for work and everything you guys do. Sort of give us a bit of a recap of your schedule. How does that work? Because you spend a lot of time on the road as well.
Yeah, so with Granny and I, we have this rule. It's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So she'll spend half the time at my house or wherever. If I decide to go to LA like this, I get 2 weeks. And then I've got to go back to her house and tell them what your house is like.
Well, it's a small house. I live alone, but I've been there in my house 62 years.
Oh, wow.
What's the area like?
Where are you?
Go ahead and
The
say it.
area, I live in the hood,
Yep.
All right.
but I love the hood.
And the hood loves her too, but probably not the safest area. But I
Does that make you the OGG, the original Gangsta Granny?
oh yeah.
Well, where is your house?
Where? I live in Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh.
Youngstown, yeah.
OH.
I
Ah.
Yeah, he knows. He's smart.
And so where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a little town called Newton Falls, and that's about 22 miles from Youngstown.
Oh.
One
And,
stoplight and a McDonald's. That's it.
Yeah.
And so when you were growing up, I mean, 93 years in this world, that's a long time. You've seen a lot of changes, a lot.
I have.
Being born then, what is that? That's 1926.
6. Yes.
So you've lived through a lot. You've lived through World War II.
Yes.
When was the Depression?
The Depression. I lived through the Depression.
20s,
too.
I believe, and
The
30s.
30s. Yeah.
So what was life like growing up?
Well, there were 7 siblings. I lived on a farm. We had big gardens and vegetables growing, and had to tend to the animals. And I had to churn butter, make butter and sour cream, and we all had to work.
Yeah, well, we grew up on a ranch too, so we know the value of a hard day's work. It's I mean, I can only imagine as well back in those days. The same for my dad when he was growing up. How much more work there was, and how they didn't have a lot of money either, our family, and so literally everything they did, the hard work they did all day, was just to put bread on the table that night.
Exactly.
Well, both of your parents were immigrants too, right?
Yeah. My mom came to this country from the Ukraine. She was 17 years old, and she only knew one friend here. And as time went on, she met my father somewhere, and they settled down in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, all my sisters and brothers, they were born in Pittsburgh. I was born in Ohio.
Oh.
I'm the baby of the family.
Oh, you're the baby?
Oh, are you?
I'm the baby.
Sounds weird hearing
That's
that.
so. Was that the surprise of the family, or they knew you were coming? all the babies are done. Let's move to Ohio. Oh, there's another one.
Whoopsies. No, it's funny. Just when you said like 1926, I was buying her an airline ticket the other day, and you know, when you scroll down through the dates, like when your birthday is, it's almost to the point where they don't offer her date anymore.
Oh, really?
Like it's at the very bottom. I think maybe like early 1900s is like a cutoff.
That is
Do you think-
ageist.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that they go to the Guinness World Record and they're like, oh, we don't have to go past this date because
I really do.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Every time I think it keeps going up. Like I think it was like 1901, and at one point I saw an 18 something. So over the past few years, but yeah, you're pretty old.
I sure am.
Well, it's cool because you got to live through the 20s, and now we're in the 20s again.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
crap, I
pretty
didn't think about
awesome.
that.
It is awesome.
So, how would you describe the 20s when you were growing up? Well, I guess you were just a baby.
But yeah, but still.
Now we're in the 20s again. How?
Well,
Give us some wisdom.
all I know, we all went to school. We were very close, you know, with our friends and families. I know one thing. I live close to a river, and we all went down to the river to swim every day. And I love roller skating, especially the music. After we got done roller skating, we went to this little Eddie's Haven restaurant, and he didn't mind how long we sat there, just kind of chit-chatting, and those were our happy days.
I was going to say, those sound like the easy breezy, lazy days. I mean, that would be
Sounds
so
like a
nice.
dream.
Seeing how busy you guys are and our schedules nowadays, it'd be nice just to go down to the river,
Yeah.
then go to Eddie's for a little snack and sit around all day and
Go
gossip.
roller skating and
we
then
don't-
churn some butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dream.
Well, there were times, you know, when you live on a farm, you have these great big porches, and Mother would get me all set up to churn the butter. Well, at times I got tired and I drifted off. Oh,
Under the
boy.
cow?
Betty Crocker over here.
She pulled me back, and I couldn't play. I had to churn the butter. It was a lot of work,
Oh.
all of us. And when you got through with school, the minute we start, I lived up on a hill. And as we're coming up the hill, Mother would meet us. And she would say, change your clothes. You got to start to work. She had rhubarb. She made her own rhubarb jelly and all those. That's the things I remember.
That doesn't sound legal. Child labor laws are now in play.
Well, you look at, so now let's look at the lazy generation. Tell
Yeah.
us how you were growing up, Ross.
Well, let me play off that. So earlier I just found out that you didn't have a telephone until what?
No, I
30s? I think till you were in your 30s.
I guess.
So it's kind of wild that you went from not having a telephone to being popular on everybody's telephone. And
Actually, that is really interesting. So back in the day, before any social media, even TVs in households, I mean, you literally just had to work hard to make a living, and now it's a completely different dynamic. So how do you find?
I don't have to work. Go ahead.
No,
I'll let you finish.
Yeah. Now you're lazy and make money. No, but now the reach that you have. I mean, like you were saying, you had a very small group of friends and family. You all live by the river, and then now you reach people globally. That's got to blow your mind.
It does. It really does when you get some deep thinking.
Everybody. I mean, we've been to all around the world in all languages, all types of people, all countries, all ages. Just right before we got here, probably a 70-year-old lady said she was a huge fan walking down the street. Then we also had kids taking pictures with us the other day, you know, and when we've been to, you know, I've been to South Korea and Taiwan, they don't speak English, but there's no like people understand what's going on, but you know, they can conceptualize what a grandma and a grandson are doing. And it's just kind of cool. We like broke down the barriers of, you know, of people.
That's what I was going to say. I love that because if you look at yourself, you're a sports guy. You played football professionally in Europe. Yeah. And you personify an athlete,
like
a sports
jock,
guy, a jock kind of a guy. But then Granny, you sort of epitomize
Also a
family.
sports guy.
Yeah. Well, she smells like one right now.
So I really think it's amazing how you guys are reaching such a broad audience.
Yeah, super cool. So I don't even know how we got off on this topic, but yeah, I mean, working in 2020, it's crazy how many people we can reach. You know, obviously she was just working to put food on the table for her family, and now it's like our job is to kind of just entertain the whole entire world. So it's just crazy how
That's a big job.
how things have changed. Yeah, I mean, our whole goal, I think, we've set together just to make the world smile. And it's crazy that's actually like a possible thing to do in 2020.